Excited for Thor: Love and Thunder? So are we. But ever since the trailer dropped, the whole buzz these days has been about Natalie Portman. In today's videos, we'll get into Natalie's relationship with Marvel, preparing for the role of Thor, and an interesting look into what other Marvel heroes she would love to be on screen with. First up, how are things with Natalie Portman and Marvel? When Natalie Portman started her journey in the Marvel Cinematic Universe with 2011's Thor, few people who weren't already aficionados of comic books would have ever thought that one day she'd be the one to wield the enormous hammer that the God of Thunder uses. However, in Thor: Love and Thunder, which will be released in July of this year, the same thing is going to happen 12 years later, and it looks great. Since she began filming the 2013 movie Thor: The Dark World, Portman's relationship with the Marvel Cinematic Universe (MCU) has been fraught with tension. Patty Jenkins, who will go on to direct Wonder Woman, was supposed to take the helm of the Dark World, but that didn't work out because Marvel and Jenkins cited creative disagreements as the reason for her replacement with Alan Taylor. Portman had worked hard to get Jenkins the job. After the conclusion of The Dark World and the actor's dissatisfaction with how it had been handled, she has abandoned both the role and the universe. This is supported by the fact that her character dumped Thor off-screen prior to the beginning of Ragnarok in the movies. Next, how is Natalie getting ready for the role? Fans were ecstatic when she made a cameo appearance in Avengers Endgame, and again a few months later when it was announced that she would be reprising her role in Thor: Love and Thunder, despite the fact that Thor now possessed godlike abilities. Portman worked with a personal trainer for a total of 10 months to get into superhuman form before taking on the job. Longtime admirers of hers may recall that she underwent a similar physical makeover for the major part she played in Darren Aronofsky's film Black Swan, for which she won an Academy Award. During an interview with Variety, she offered her thoughts on the following contrast between the two. On Black Swan, I was supposed to get as little as possible. Meanwhile, here I was asked to get as huge as possible. That's an incredible challenge and also a mentality that a woman needs to have. So, what about the actor's work ethic? Natalie Portman is well known across Hollywood for the tremendous devotion she shows to the part she plays, and she has maintained a steady presence in the industry for several decades at this point. From Where the Heart Is to Anywhere But Here to Star Wars, fans' responses to Portman's return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe made the actress ecstatic. According to the interview with Variety, to have this response and be seen as huge, you think, oh, this must be so different to move through the world like this. To have this reaction and be seen as enormous, Natalie Portman says. When you're little, and also, I guess, since I started as a kid, a lot of the time I feel young or little, or like a pat on the head sort of person. When you're small, you feel these things because you're small, and as a direct result of it, I portray myself in the same manner. It is obvious that Portman still cares deeply about this character, and she's aware of the impact that she's had on admirers all around the world. Alongside Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, and other notable actors and actresses, she will make another appearance in the next film, Thor: Love and Thunder. It is certain to be a really interesting comeback for her, and we can only hope that in the future, Natalie Portman's Thor and Brie Larson's Captain Marvel will be able to work together. And now, what do you think about the fate of Natalie's character in Thor? It's understandable that information on Natalie Portman's future in the Marvel Cinematic Universe beyond the film Thor: Love and Thunder is being kept under wraps. On the other hand, if the Marvel Cinematic Universe were to follow the lead of its comic book source material, audiences may get a glimpse of a character battling cancer on July 8th. According to what was published on Screen Rant, when the character of Jane Foster as the Mighty Thor was revealed as the new wielder of Mjolnir, she was fighting cancer at the time. When asked about the future of the character, both Natalie Portman and the film's director, Taika Waititi, have chosen to respond with deliberate evasiveness. Should Natalie Portman make it through Thor: Love and Thunder alive and in good condition, a team-up with Captain Marvel would be a fantastic opportunity to showcase the Mighty Thor character in further Marvel Cinematic Universe productions. To begin, the Mighty Thor and Captain Marvel are both characters that originated in the cosmic-themed entry to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Thus, it's only natural that they would eventually come into contact with one another. Also, given that Captain Marvel was the first female-led Marvel Cinematic Universe film and that the Mighty Thor sees a classic Marvel character in Thor reimagined as a female hero, it would be a fitting tribute to strong female characters for the two to team up on the big or small screen, with the latter being a big possibility thanks to Disney+. This would be a fitting tribute to strong female characters because it would be a fitting tribute tribute to strong female characters. Speaking of getting characters together, here's what you've been waiting for. So, what does Natalie Portman think about working with other heroes? Following the success of her work on the film Thor: Love and Thunder alongside Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, Natalie Portman is looking forward to collaborating with a different Marvel hero on an upcoming project. Natalie Portman expressed her desire to see her character, the Mighty Thor, meet up with Brie Larson's Captain Marvel in an interview with Variety. On June 23rd in Hollywood, California at the El Capitan Theater, the global premiere of Thor: Love and Thunder took place. Variety was able to catch up with Natalie Portman on the red carpet for the event. Following the release of Thor: Love and Thunder, the red carpet reporter for Variety wanted to know who Portman would want to collaborate with next in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. After giving the topic a bit of thought and lavishing praise on her Thor co-stars Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, Portman declared her admiration for Captain Marvel and its actress Brie Larson. She referred to Larson as a close friend and stated that collaborating with her would be a fun one. Next, Thor, Captain Marvel, Black Widow, women power for the win. We do know that Natalie Portman is excited to reprise her role after sitting out Thor Ragnarok. We also know which Marvel character she'd like to team up with next: Black Widow. Despite the fact that it's currently unknown whether Chris Hemsworth's Thor will step down after this entry in order to allow Portman's Jane Foster to take the mantle full-time, we do know that Natalie Portman is excited to reprise her role. Captain Marvel is my favorite superhero. Since Brie is a close friend of mine, I think that would be a lot of fun. Brie Larson, who plays Captain Marvel in the Marvel Cinematic Universe MCU since the release of the 2019 film carrying her name and earning $1 billion at the international box office, is who Portman is alluding to. Since then, Larson has performed the part again in Avengers Endgame and Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings, and she's scheduled to do it once again in the Marvels, this time alongside Teyonah Parris, Monica Rambeau, and Iman Vellani's Kamala Khan. And finally, Natalie Portman's character might be in a video game. Fans of Marvel will be able to gain further experiences with the Natalie Portman character in the world of video games, even though the future of the Mighty Thor in the movie world is still uncertain. On June 28th, the Great Thor will be included as part of a free downloadable content pack for Marvel's Avengers. This means that players will be able to wield the Mighty Mjolnir as the Mighty Thor days before Natalie Portman does the same in theaters. Thor: Love and Thunder will disclose everything about Natalie Portman's future in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, whether it be a triumphant conclusion or a tragic one. However, because Marvel has the power to continue a character's tale even after they've died, as evidenced by Loki, it's possible that Natalie Portman would reprise her role as the Mighty Thor despite this, which would pave the way for a team-up with Captain Marvel. There's a good chance that the conclusion of Thor: Love and Thunder will provide fans with missing pieces of the jigsaw. On July 8th, 2022, audiences will be able to see Thor: Love and Thunder in cinemas. What do you think of Natalie Portman's idea for the ultimate superhero team-up? Are you looking forward to seeing her perform the part of Jane Foster once again in the next film Thor: Love and Thunder? Which of Natalie Portman's performances do you enjoy seeing the most? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.